It has been a hell of a 24 hours for professional wrestling. Of course, we had the potential release of Sasha Banks. We have had the very, very troubling allegations against the higher-ups in WWE. And we've had a crazy episode of Dynamite. So here's my review of that. Hope you all enjoy. Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Ewan McQuaid and today we are talking about the AEW Dynamite Special Road Rager 2022. Now, first things first, please excuse me. I am sort of clogged with hay fever at the moment. Eyes are itchy, eyes are running, nose is running, everything's running. Apart from me, because I'm a lazy bastard. So, yeah, AEW Road Rager. Let's talk about this show. This is one of the sort of specials that AEW do. They do this. I believe they do Bash at the Beach as well. I think it's called Bash at the Beach. I think that's what it was called. They do a few. Battle of the Belts is like a one-off TV special. And Road Rager last year, I believe, saw the debut of Malakai Black. It's hard to believe he's been in the company for a year, unless they moved the dates of when they were. There's always that. But here's my review of the show. I just run down the card, tell you everything that happened on the show and my thoughts on it. So shall we just jump straight into it with the opening contest, which was Chris Jericho, the Wizard Chris Jericho, against Ortiz in a hair versus hair match. Now, I went into this fully thinking Jericho was being shaved bald here. I thought Jericho was losing. I get he's got to keep his hair, it's sort of the mystique, and he was playing that up in the match. He was throwing it back. He was doing everything to sort of tease that he's going to have his head shaved. These two had a cracker of a match. I thought this was really good. This is one of the best Jericho matches I've seen in a while, and Ortiz really showed something new here. This fire in him that I've never really seen before, but it's been brought out a lot in this Blackpool Combat Club Jericho Appreciation Society feud. I thought there were some nice spots in this. There were a few botches, so it was a bit 50-50, but the crowd really helped this match. The crowd was so hot for this, and there was an insane near fall in this match. A absolutely phenomenal near fall when everything's broken down and Eddie Kingston hits the Hurricane, I think it's called, the sort of spinning backhand on Jericho. 1, 2, Jericho kicks out. That was sensational near fall. Sensational drama, and in the end it was Fuego del Sol who jumped in the ring and clocked Ortiz with the bat while Aubrey's back was turned. Jericho picks up the win from that. I'll admit, I got worked here, completely worked. I was like, what is going on? Are they really putting Fuego del Sol into this mix, into the Jericho Appreciation Society? And I was ready to give this like a big kind of sigh. And then when they were on the ramp celebrating, and I could sort of see more of the face, I was like, oh, that's Sammy. That's brilliant. I thought it was a really, really solid twist that, got me. I think it was a lot more effective than just Sammy running out. I think the Fuego sort of turn or like twist on the narrative, I thought that was really well executed in it. It took me by surprise, genuinely. And then we'll get into them later because we've got some big negatives to talk about that. But for this opening segment, I thought it was great. Really solid opening to the show. Okay, then we got an incredibly goofy, almost like, I'm assuming it's emulating like the Judge Judy, Judge Rinder kind of shows, the law shows. I don't watch those kind of things. But it was building up this match, Wardlow versus the 20 plaintiffs who he's damaged. It's fucking nonsense, this. And the match itself, Wardlow's over for his entrance. He gets a big pop from the crowd when he comes out, but it's almost like they're deliberately trying to sabotage him, because this for me was terrible. This was really, really bad stuff. I didn't think the bumps that they were taking were that great to sort of elicit a reaction from me. And the crowd didn't seem into this either. It went pretty long, him taking out. Some he threw out of the ring and they got eliminated. Some he pinned while they were on their front. This just didn't work in the slightest. a big misfire, and I believe it's probably a second misfire since the MJF thing, and it's really tanking my interest in Wardlow. And to make it tank even more, he's in a feud with Men of the Year and Scorpio Sky, because I'm just not into Sky as champion at all. And yeah, this feud, this angle was not good. And then you had, I believe it's Tyrone Woodley and Matt Hughes, who are both members of American Top Team, big MMA stars, and they came into the ring. It looked like they were going to jump Wardlow, but they didn't. They just threw Mark Sterling to Wardlow, hits powerbomb, sends the fans home happy. Yeah, didn't like this at all. Then we got something very, very tasty. Dax Harwood versus Will Osprey. Dax Harwood, right, hear me out. Wrestler of the Year so far. I think he has had the most consistent run of banging matches, probably out of anyone on the AEW roster that I can think of. And this was another cracker. At first, I thought this was a bit underwhelming. It wasn't really what I was expecting from a Will Osprey singles match in AEW. But when it got going, and they got a lot of time for this, it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. You got some sick moves. Just the slingshot powerbomb from Dax was terrific. It just looks great. The near fall off the Os cutter as well, also fantastic. Osprey's selling is really over the top, and I quite like it in that regard. And I liked the way they gelled. You've got obviously very flippy Will Osprey with hard, tough, wrestling Dax Harwood, and I thought it was really great, really fantastic match. Probably pay-per-view caliber. This would be a solid pay-per-view opener, and I really loved it. And then you got, of course, Osprey wins. He hits, I can't remember what the move's called, it's like a running sliding elbow. And then the United Empire come down. They're about to take out Dax. Out comes Cash Wheeler, out comes Roppongi Vice, and Osprey sort of sitting in the corner. I'm like, who is coming out? Who's going to face at Forbidden Door? And then Orange Cassidy comes down. Orange Cassidy has a stare down with Will Osprey. I'm going to admit this was not what I thought Will Osprey would be doing, but I'm actually probably a little bit more positive on this, the Osprey versus Cassidy match, because it's something different. And I feel like Cassidy, even though he plays comedy, he's so good at wrestling. He's had some of my favourite matches, like in AEW's history. The match with Pac is phenomenal. The triple threat with Pac, Kenny, and Cassidy is also terrific. I even like the Jericho stuff. So I think if you can play into that, these two could just have an absolutely fantastic match and potentially steal the show. So this isn't like terrible for me. Maybe it could have been someone a little bit more high profile, but it's a big return for Cassidy. We haven't seen him for a while. And yeah, I think the Yano match will be teased at the end of this one, if you get me, the Toru Yano match. So yeah, Osprey versus Cassidy, sure. Okay, then we got the face-to-face. Then we got Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Jon Moxley in this face-to-face confrontation. Brilliant promo from Moxley to start. We got a brilliant promo, like a pre-done video promo, and just an incredible in-ring promo. And yeah, then Tanahashi went to speak. Who should cut him off but Chris Jericho? And that's when this fell apart. This segment was mental. I don't understand why they did it this way. I don't understand why they couldn't just have a face-to-face with Tanahashi and Mox and then have a pre-recorded or backstage segment with the Jericho Appreciation Society announcing the 6-man tag for Forbidden Door, because that's what they did. They came out and did this they did a beat down on Mox and Tanahashi. Then Jericho cut this really long, convoluted promo saying how there's a 6-man tag, and I'm going to be honest, I can't actually remember some of the names that are in it. I believe it's Wheeler Yuta, Eddie Kingston, and then this guy versus, I think it's Jericho and Sammy, and I don't know if he said Suzuki. He's hired members of Suzuki Gun, Lance Archer, and oh god, see, I'm all over the place with this. I can't remember everyone who came out. I'm so bad at this. A lot of people were involved in this, and it was way too convoluted. It didn't need to be like this. They could have done it in a much more smooth and crisp way. And I think this really took away from the face-to-face with Tanahashi and Mox. I think it really overshadowed that. So, yeah, this is a big old no from me. Probably the weakest... Ooh, the Wardlow bit was pretty bad. Probably one of the weakest aspects of the show for me. Then we got quite a few promos. We got Dante Martin and Matt Sydal. He's facing Mox. Good luck. And yeah, we had a Tony Storm promo in there as well. I think Tony Storm's really competent on the mic. Then we got the Tony Storm match, which was Tony Storm versus Britt Baker. These two got a lot of time. It followed a similar Britt format with lots of interference. Jamie Hayter got chased off by Thunder Rosa, which left Rebel, I don't know what they call her anymore, Rebel, one of the two, still out there by Britt's side. And they had a really good match, Storm and Baker. They got really good chemistry in the ring. And yeah, Tony Storm won. She won. She hit the Storm Zero, pinned Baker clean pretty much. And it was a really, really solid win, setting up Thunder Rosa versus Tony Storm at Forbidden Door. I think it'd be really interesting to see where this goes. Storm's really great. Thunder Rosa's really great. Hopefully they can have an amazing match. And yeah, another title match on the card. Sure, Women's Championship. Let's go. Then we got Hangman Page coming out to cut a promo. Now, he sort of says, he addresses that he wanted to face Okada at Forbidden Door. Okada has lost the championship to Jay White. And yeah, it seems like he's setting his sights on facing Jay White. But who should come out but Adam Cole? Adam Cole acting like everyone's friends. He's friends with Jay White. And then Jay White comes out, hits the, I can't remember what the Blade Runner on Hangman Page, and seemingly sets up he's not facing either of them. So I don't know if they've got another opponent planned for Jay White. I don't really want to see Page versus Cole again. So it seems either triple threats coming or some mystery surprise opponent for White. Don't know who it's going to be. White is incredible on the mic. He's got really good chops on the mic, and I like how he pointed out that he's 2-0 over Hangman. So we'll see where this goes as well. I think this is solid stuff, but it's not got me tantalised just yet. A lot of the matches, to be honest, on the Forbidden Door card, I'm excited for, but not over the moon. Not like I was for matches at Double or Nothing, which is a little bit worrying when it's, Forbidden Door's teasing like dream matches and stuff like that. The build hasn't got me as invested as I wanted to be. And then we got the main event. We got the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express in a ladder match for the AEW Tag Team titles. This match was silly nonsense, and it was incredible, absolutely incredible. The Young Bucks showed why they are the best tag team in the world, and Jurassic Express showed why they're just as great as anyone else on that roster. Jungle Boy's Hurricane Rana to, I think it was Matt Jackson through the table, then tried to do it to Nick, went into a powerbomb, and then a 450 splash from Nick through the table is one of the most impressive sequences of moves I've ever seen, and it was on Dynamite. Luchasaurus took the insane Undertaker Extreme Rules 2008 bump through the 4 tables, which looked great, and then that left Jungle Boy to sort of fend off the Bucks for himself, and he was unable to. The Young Bucks took the titles, and they are the new AEW Tag Team Champions. Now I love this match. I thought it was great. Solid, really solid ladder match. This tells me 2 things though. Well, it tells me one thing and then gets me angry about another. So I think the Hardys were going to win the ladder match before everything that happened with Jeff happened. I don't think the plan was for the Young Bucks to win. I think it was for the Hardys to win. So it tells me that. The other thing, and this ties into the angle afterwards, is that I feel like this has been detrimental to Keith Lee, Swerve, Strickland, and Team Taz, because what was the point in keeping the belts on them at Double or Nothing other than to swerve us? Because you had something so hot, and I'm just thinking about how good that near fall was of Jungle Boy at Double or Nothing. You should have put the titles on Keith Lee and Swerve there. It's not just my love for Keith Lee and Swerve, but what was the point in extending this for a couple more weeks? That's what makes me think it was supposed to go on the Hardys, because otherwise, what's the point? Why not do the big? Why not have them lose and get another team over, and then do the turn with Christian afterwards? So I don't understand why they didn't do it Double or Nothing. It seems actively just bizarre and out of character for AEW to miss a beat like that, because now where are Keith Lee and Swerve now? They're a lot further down the card. So yeah, that got me a bit riled. The angle after was good. Christian finally turns on Jungle Boy, hits a concerto and a kill switch, which was great. It looked like he actually clocked Jungle Boy on the back of the head with that concerto. It looked pretty nasty. And then it goes off so quick, which again is another issue I have with this, is that if it was on pay-per-view, you could have lingered longer. And they did linger longer. On the fight feed, you got Christian shouting at Jungle Boy's sister and his mum, saying that he's a piece of shit. You don't get that on the TV broadcast, but you can do that on pay-per-view. You got this, it had time to breathe, and that's an issue that AEW has. It doesn't allow things to breathe anymore. You don't get these long sort of just moments to soak in everything that's happened. It just went off the air so quickly. So yeah, it was a bit of a good angle, but I feel like it could have been better, and that's something an issue I've been having with AEW for a bit, is that I feel like it just could be better. They're doing things, but it could be better, and there's obvious routes to take. Just trim some things for one. Just trim some things. So overall, I thought this was a solid show, solid special. You had incredible wrestling on it. The ladder match was insane. The Dax Osprey match was great. The Jericho Ortiz match was great. The Storm Baker match was really, really good as well. You had a few duds in there, but I don't think the build for Forbidden Door has been particularly hot. I'll say that much. So overall, I'll give this a 3.5 out of 5. Solid show. Let me know your thoughts on the show down in the comments below, and I'll try and apply to every single one of you. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.